You're listening to the Teamcpnz Quick Connect podcast, the space to stay informed, keep connected, and learn from each other along the way as well. I'm your team captain, Richard Greer, and in this episode, we connect with Alejandro Escobar, who recently completed an adventure in the Scottish Highlands, running the West Highland Way over 5 days, and even had enough energy to finish off a 6-day climbing Ben Nevis as well. Alejandro has been part of our community for over 4 years now. And like many of our team based around the globe, we got to know him as he signed up for the Coast to Coast 2-day individual. Since then, he's been back and completed the longest day, and he's also knocked off the Kepler challenge late last year as well. So in this episode, we find out what it was like to run the Scottish Highlands over multiple days, and also share a few other stories of adventure races and missions complete as well. It's pretty cool to have someone like Alejandro as part of our team. He's always keen to get involved and share, and he's also coming back over for our back road bike packing trip early next year as well in Queenstown, which is pretty cool. But before we get to Alejandro, we have Teamcpnz coach Amanda to catch up with as well. What's been happening in your world recently?
Yeah, I'm good. Morning, Richard. Full on start to winter. What are we? 12 days into winter. This year is going so fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've had my 5-year-old start school a couple of weeks ago. So my life is currently managing, balancing work, 5-year-old starting school, and of course training. So, you know, that constant life juggle that keeps throwing at you. Good. How are you?
Yeah. I feel like I almost sort of, with all the things you've said, I feel like I'm kind of almost a bit lazy, to be honest, at the moment. Yeah, but I guess what happened for me, we had our first I've been thrust back into the coaching kids sports teams. I thought those days were done, but I've back to coaching rugby again, and we had our first win last weekend. So was I going to be sacked? I'm not sure, but that was pretty fun. The boys were pumped.
Oh, that's my future, I feel. I might have to come and get some tips from you, some weekends coming up.
I think one of the best tips is have two of you coaching, because I've coached just as the one coach, but it's so much better if you've got another dad or another mum sort of there coaching, because you can kind of bounce off each other a little bit and sort of, okay, how are we going to do this? And you can kind of set things up rather than you trying to just manage kids that are all over the shop.
Yeah, I don't know how people can do it. I can barely manage my two.
Yeah, exactly.
A whole team of 8 kids running around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, so that's pretty fun. But just kind of chipping away. We've got our adventure squad this weekend, which I'm pumped for. Second one of those for this winter. The weather forecast looked really kind of clean during the week, but it's kind of potentially a bit of westerly weather, which sort of kind of constantly refreshing things to see what that's going to. So we're not 100% sure where we'll go, but that's the beauty of this adventure squad, is that we're meeting here, we're heading that way, we're just going to figure out where we're going to go based on, I guess, river levels and what the weather's going to be like. It's not going to be cold anyway. It's not going to be frosty like we've had in the past this weekend.
Love that. They don't know what they're tuning up for.
Yeah, just be organised. Bring some warm clothes. And the highlight of it was always the after-match function and the shared afternoon tea at the vans at the end, which is pretty fun.
Oh, nice. And 3 days till June tune-up starts. Tell me a bit about it, because all I got last year was memes about Bulgarian split squats through the chat. So I was a bit scared last year, and I've got 3 that convinced me to sign up for 3 days.
Convinced you to sign up. Yeah, okay, perfect. So the reason why we did the June tune-up is because basically this is off the back of May meters. May meters is some people, and you know who you are, that have gone, I'm not doing any strength, any stretching, any of that. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to do vertical meters. So we basically sort of try and catch you and try and put you back together in the June tune-up to sort of just think about things that are not biking and running and swimming and kayaking and being outdoors. It's about doing something and moving in a different way. So we do a bit of strength stuff and a bit of mobility and stretching sort of side of things as well. But the challenge is to do something every day for 10 days. So start on Monday, every day. Not every day is a horrible Bulgarian split squat. There are days which are, probably every second day, let's just take it a bit easier, but just do something for yourself. So that's kind of how it is. But is a bit of a challenge. Probably haven't organised it super well for the fact it's exactly the day after our adventure squad. Usually I'm walking a bit funny. So maybe we'll try and ditch the Bulgarian split squad on day one just due to that fact.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to start with mobility.
It's Mobility Monday. How does that sound? That's got a nice ring to it, isn't it?
Yeah. Monday mobility.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. And the other thing that's going on is our Tour de France challenge is kind of just around the corner from that. So we're going to get ourselves set, and then the Tour de France challenge. It's a bit of a different one. May meters is all about up, but how that we run the Tour de France challenge is the Tour de France has lots of up, and it's also really long. But we've got a table that we set up based on every year to say this is the percentage of distance and elevation that you'll look to do across the month. So if you're running, walking, you can do it too. If you're biking, you've actually got to do some distance. You've got to ride down the hill rather than just doing the Zwift uphill. So the two numbers have got to match is basically what the plan of attack is. So that's coming up in July, which will be fun as well.
Nice. I'm so close to my Zwift level 100 that I think I'll have to jump on that one just to
oh my God.
finally get my 100 badge. I need the distance.
Level 100. I just looked this morning, actually. I think I'm at level 63. And I was like, I feel like I'm an old dog. I've been doing this for a while now. Pretty much only on their group Zwift sessions, but level 100, you almost double me, Amanda. It's impressive.
Yeah. Got some catching up.
But can I say on catching up, this probably is my chance. I didn't really get a chance to talk about last on the May Meters podcast that we did last week with Shiraz and Matt and Craig, is that I actually won the coaches challenge.
Was it contested this year?
Aaron come through late with the Everest 8,800, like the second to last day, which did get me a little bit worried. But then I thought, well, if he does 5,000 the next day, well, so be it. Good luck to him. But yeah, I feel like you did. It was impressive, but was it contested from your perspective? Probably not. I was actually quite pleased that you put your name down, did a few, but then sort of just weren't up to too much. So yeah, I felt like you were very kind to me there.
Yeah, this year. We'll let you off 1 year. We'll be back. Rearing to go next.
Dangerous. I'm feeling like I'm stirring the pot already. But yeah, it was good.
Tour de France. Richard, let's go.
I did feel like I wanted to get away early in May and sort of put the boot in so you wouldn't bother. That was sort of what my tactic was, and I feel like that might have worked.
Great tactic. While she's on her honeymoon for 7 days, I'll get those. Where would you like to go in July, Amanda? Maybe I should book you in for another trip. Just going to book No.
It has to be flat. It has to be like an island. It can't be very far. You can't go to France.
I imagine I'll have a household that's up in the middle of the night watching the Tour de France too, so I'll be on my indoor trainer going through it.
Oh, no. I don't mind to be the bridesmaid. I've been a bridesmaid a few times before. Maybe I'll just book that in already. Top 3. That's okay. Yeah, no, good stuff. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, Amanda. Keep up doing the great work. It's awesome to have you as part of our coaching team. We love your enthusiasm, and have a fantastic weekend, and we'll catch up soon.
Good luck with your Saturday coaching.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, cheers, Amanda. Thanks heaps. Hi and welcome. We've got Alejandro on the line today. How are you getting on today, Alejandro?
Hey, good. Hey, hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Hey, you're our international correspondent, beaming in live from
Washington, D.C.
How good. That's awesome. And what's the weather doing at your place? We're getting into a bit of autumn here as we speak. Winter's sort of kind of happening. What's happening at your side of the world at the moment?
Oh, it's beautiful right now. We're at the tail end of spring into summer, but it gets pretty humid here in summer. So we're in that period where it's beautiful and warm, but still dry. So it's about, 22 degrees and sunny and dry with a mild breeze. It's absolutely perfect. Training weather, hanging out weather, sitting in your patio weather. It's perfect.
How good. That's probably one of the things with working with yourself and a few others in the Northern Hemisphere, like you get to kind of live vicariously through your sort of summer adventures and your winter adventures, the opposite of what we're doing. What does the weather get to? We're just starting this podcast with a bit of weather chat, but what happens in summer? How hot does it get? And what happens in winter? How cold does it get? What are we dealing with? Because obviously it's pretty nice at the moment.
Yeah, it is pretty nice in the moment, and that's the exception, to be honest. Summer here's are pretty brutal. It gets to, like, normally in a regular day to 35 degrees and 85% humidity for days and days and weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty brutal. It's tough on your body, but as you know, our bodies get used to it. So after the first few weeks of being miserable, then I don't know if it's physical or mentally, but you get used to it and you just like carry on.
Yeah.
And our winters are normally not too bad. They're not to the point where it really affects your training a lot. We might get a couple bad days here and there with snow or an ice storm. This past winter was particularly bad, not like nothing I've seen in my on and off 20 years of living here, that we got a very big and bad ice storm and then a cold front for many days, so nothing melted. So we couldn't really go out on the sidewalks. They were covered with ice for about 3 weeks, but that was very unusual. Normally you just bundle up and again, carry on.
Yeah, good job. Nice work. Gives us a good sort of feel for where you're at and what you have to deal with. Give us a bit of a background. Like, you've been with working with Team CP for a while now. Like, you started, Fiona was your initial coach, wasn't she, through Coast to Coast? So tell us about sort of how you got to, I guess, get in touch with us and what you've done with us.
Yeah, so I wanted to do the Coast to Coast for a few years, and then COVID happened, and of course we couldn't travel. And then I put my name for the 2023 race for the lottery, and I got in.
Yeah.
And through the Coast to Coast website, I saw that the official coaching partner was Team CP. So I literally just sent an email saying, I just got into Coast to Coast. I need help.
What now? Yeah.
What now? And I believe then I had a quick check-in with Sandra, and based on my background and my weakness, which was kayak. So my background is triathlon. So I didn't know how to kayak. She said, oh, Fiona is probably going to be a good fit for you. So I got to work with Fiona for that year prior to the race. Yeah. And then I did the race, the 2-day, and it was fantastic. And I love working with Fiona and CP in general. So I decided to stay with the service for the next year, which I was going to do other things. And then I also put my name. Oh, and then I wanted to do the 1-day, the longest day for the Coast to Coast, which I was lucky enough to get in. Unfortunately, I got injured, so I had to defer for 1 year. But then I did the race in 2025, also working with Fiona for that year, through my injury, through my recovery, getting fit again, doing the race. It was an amazing experience. Definitely the hardest thing I've done in my life was the.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And now I'm coming out of triathlon retirement. Fiona has also moved on to do other things, to go back to school. So now I'm working with you, Richard.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just the Team CP philosophy of coaching. I think the value of you all understanding that we don't do this for a living. This is for fun. We take our hobbies very seriously, but ultimately we're not getting paid for this.
It'd be good if we could, wouldn't we? Like, imagine that. Maybe we need to work on that. Like, how can we do that? Like, we're very good at what we do. Like, surely, come on, guys. Yeah.
We have jobs, we have lives. That balance of like going hard, doing our best, being serious about training and racing, but knowing that it's just a part of our life. I really like that. And I've had other coaches in the past that did not have that philosophy. And frankly, I think the results are better when you have more balance. So my experience with Team CP has been absolutely amazing. And I would recommend it to anyone that would ask.
Okay, right. We'll pay you for that, though.
You already paid awesome. It forward, so it's all good.
No, good stuff. I would like working with you is super fun. We've just in the weekend we're going to talk about a bit of an adventure you've been on recently, which is running across the Scottish Highlands. But in the weekend you were just up in Boulder, Colorado, and did a 10K run. Let's have a quick talk about that. Like, that sounded like an amazing event that you're part of at altitude and with thousands of others. Tell us a little bit about that experience over the weekend that you've just been involved in.
Yeah, so it's called the Boulder 10K. I mean, they claim to be the largest 10K in the world, but as we all know, everyone claims to be the largest something in the world. But it was about 53,000 people running a 10K, which it's pretty crazy. And yes, it's in altitude. It's at 1,600 meters above sea level. I have friends that live there. So they've been nagging me to go and race with them. They do it every year. And finally, this was the year I signed up. About 8 months ago or a year ago. They're very strict in their seating because it's so many people for 10K. So they have, I don't know, 200 waves or something like that. They're very small. They're about 200 people each wave. And you have to send your official results from a previous race, and they seat you. Very well organized. The course is not crowded at all for anyone. Great aid stations. Great atmosphere running through the neighborhoods, and then you get to finish at the University of Colorado Stadium, which is pretty big. And there's people in the stands, and you get to run like around the field. Pretty amazing experience. I've done big races in the past, but I've never done a race of this magnitude.
Yeah, working.
Also for such a short distance.
Yep.
And the race went well. The altitude was kept me honest at the beginning, forced me to slow down to keep my eyes on the heart rate. But it did not affect me as much as I thought it was going to affect me, which is a great testament to your coaching, Richard. That it got me fit to that, and I powered through it, and I had a lot of fun, had a good time. I had fun, but also had a good racing time. And it was amazing, and I want to do it again, and I would recommend it to anyone that wants to do a big fun event.
And you won a t-shirt as well. Tell us about that.
I won a t-shirt. So they have within the race, there's like a race within the race. If your time is under your age, so I think they call the event the Ageless Wonders. Then you get a t-shirt. And I just turned 50, and my time for the 10K was under 50 minutes. So I got a t-shirt that says Ageless Wonder. So
yeah, good job. Much under 50 minutes? Where were we at?
Sorry?
Much under 50 minutes?
Oh, it was about 42 seconds under 50 minutes.
Heaps of time. All over.
But you know what? It only had to be 1 second. And
That's right. Yeah, time to spare. You could have walked across down the finishing chute. That's awesome. And as you say, at altitude as well. That's a different kettle of fish as well. Yeah, well done. We've been having, like, this year has been about a running block so far, hasn't it, off the back of winter? And we're about to kick into a cycling block, which we will talk about, and which will culminate in a bit of a triathlon later on. But the running block, the end of our running block has been about this Highlands adventure run that you did. Tell us about that. What was the route, and what was the, I guess, motivation reason for going?
Yeah, so I just came back from Scotland a couple of weeks ago. I spent 2 weeks there, just traveling, and as you said, doing doing some trail running. I've been wanting to go to Scotland for a few years now. I couldn't get it to work with my work schedule, race schedule, life schedule. And this year it was the year. And when I was planning my trip, I knew I wanted to go to the Highlands and do some trail running. And through doing that research, I discovered this point-to-point trail, or walk, I should say, called the West Highland Way.
Yep.
It's 150 kilometer trail.
Yep.
And most people do it in 7-8 days. But I knew I wanted to do it faster, and I knew I wanted to mostly try to run it.
Yeah, I love this. I love the fact of, like, yeah, it's a trippy trip. 150 k's is a long way, by the way. But let's just run it, shall we? Like even just to consider that is pretty fun, isn't it? Like, well done.
Yeah. So, and I really didn't know a whole lot about the terrain. I did contact the service that helped me book the accommodations, so I didn't have to sleep in tents, which was nice. but they also moved my bag.
That's a big
I
one,
was
isn't it?
just
That's huge.
running with a day pack. I was actually using the same pack that I used for coast to coast.
Okay,
So that was like
that's
the perfect
good.
size for just having emergency cold weather gear, some rain gear, and nutrition, and it was perfect. And in many ways, similar to New Zealand, there's lots of streams and water that you can just refill your water bottles.
Yeah.
And you're never more than a couple hours away from a cafe or a pub, so you can always like stop for a coffee or a cake or something.
Yeah.
But I just went for it, and the first day was mostly running. The second day was a very technical trail, so there was not as much running. And then days 3, 4, and 5 was a combination of running, walking, hiking, kind of depending on the terrain, the weather, the conditions, and honestly how I was feeling. Because let me tell you, that 4th day starts getting pretty tired.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can decide to run it, but when you're backing up day in, day out, that gets challenging, doesn't it? That multi-day ultra situation, which is different when you're on the bike, but when you actually need to put one foot in front of the other, that's getting tough.
Yeah, and I was doing 35 kilometers a day, so it was long.
Yeah.
And the nutrition, it feels like I think I was always kind of in deficit. No matter how much I was trying to eat, there's only so much your stomach will take. But I finished. It was great. I had great weather. I was very lucky. Very unlike Scotland. I have 5 days of absolutely beautiful sunny blue skies.
Okay.
Which was fantastic. Finish early in the afternoon, the last day. Chill for the rest of the day. Woke up the next day, still feeling good. And then that 6th day, which was not part of the original plan, I decided to go up Ben Nevis, which is the highest mountain in the UK. Yep, and I did that, and I still had the legs for that.
Okay,
so it was really more like 6 days of adventures.
Well done. You mentioned that the track was pretty busy. How did your days unfold? Did you have people around you the whole time, or what was it like for you? Obviously, you're starting in a town, like in a pub or some accommodation.
Yeah, so I was starting in a town or a pub, and I got into this pretty consistent routine where I would wake up just whenever, which usually was around 7:30 or 8 in the morning, have a big breakfast, pack my bag, bring my bag out to be collected by the bag moving service, which had to be done by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And usually got started by 9. Usually running the first parts of the trail. And most people start around 7 in the morning. So the first maybe 3, 4, 5 kilometers of each day were, I would say, quote unquote, busy in that you pass people, but not crazy. Maybe like 20, 30 people each day. Yeah. And then usually after about an hour of me running or power hiking, then I had the trail all by myself.
Yeah.
So usually the last, I don't know, 80% of each day, I would pass almost no one, which was
That's pretty
awesome.
Cool.
So you had the whole open space wilderness Scottish Highlands for yourself.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But you also had like the peace of mind, because I was doing it by myself, that if something were to happen to me, there was always someone behind. So, knock on wood that I would break a leg or something, like there would be someone behind at some point that could help me.
Yeah, I might have to hang out here for a bit, depending on how fast you run and how part of the day, but it's on its way. I do need to, this is a question I put up in all our Connect podcasts that we do, is how toasted were you at the end of the I guess 6 days worth of missioning around Scotland, one being completely burnt, like in bits, through to 9 just lightly toasted. Where would you put yourself on the scale at the end of this mission?
Oh, I would probably a 6.
6, okay.
Yeah, I was toasty.
Yeah.
But not burnt out. And I mean, I think that a testament to that is that when I finished, as we were saying earlier, I still had the energy, both physical and mental, to do a big day and climb or walk up Ben Nevis. And then I had a day off. and then I went into the Isle of Skye, and then a couple very, not as long, but very interesting, beautiful, hard missions there that were like a good 4 or 5 hours. Maybe not, maybe like 3 or 4 hours. And I still had the energy. So yeah, I think it's 6.
Yeah, good. So you've done something, but it's paced out. You've paced it well, haven't you? You've looked after yourself. Your body's capable of doing back-to-back days, and you're strong enough to do that. And the lead into this, you did a run series, didn't you? Like every 3 or 4 weeks, there was another kind of trail run, which is like 15 Ks or so. That set you up well for this, didn't it? As a little marker points along the way.
Yeah. So you're right. It was 4 races over a couple of months in different parks around the Washington, D.C. area. And they were 15 kilometers each, and you accrue points. And you're right. It set me up really well physically, and I've had I had a pretty bad ankle injury a few years ago, so I still have like a mental block with trail running sometimes. So doing those races in a controlled environment really helped me overcome that mental barrier, and it set me up physically very well. So that was very, very good for me.
Yeah, brilliant. You've got an event this weekend. You've got a bit of a mission to do. The first, I guess, beyond 24-hour adventure race that's lined up. Tell us about that one.
Yes, so it's my first, you're right, my first over 1 day adventure race. It's a 30-hour adventure race in the mountains of West Virginia. It's going to involve mountain biking, trekking, and paddling in a river. It's not white water. It'll be flat water, but it's a river. The longest I've done in my life was, I think, 14 or 15 hours. So we're doubling that, because why not? Weather is looking beautiful. We know a little bit about the course, not a whole lot, as most of you all know, that with adventure racing, you don't know the whole story until the morning of. We know the full course is going to be around 150 to 180 kilometers and 5,000 meters of elevation change. So we do know that. Yeah.
So it's going to be a big mission. And what's the goal for the event?
So I'm doing it as a team of 2. So we're a duo. And the main goal of the event is for us to still be friends by the end of the race. That is the main goal of the event.
What do you reckon the chances of that?
Going to be, I think our chances are pretty good. My racing partner, we complement each other very well. So I think I am a slightly better athlete than she is, but she's an order of magnitude better navigator than I am.
Okay. Well, that's going to help of that. Like, you can't sort of give her too much grief in terms of navigation, because have the map yourself. That's not going to go down too well. And if she knows how to actually go in the right direction, that'll make a big difference too. But ultimately, you were talking before, it was her idea to doing this race, wasn't it? So maybe that could potentially come back to bite the friendship.
Yeah. It was her idea to do this race, and it was her idea to do all the other ones I've done in the past. I am not an adventure racer. My gateway sport was triathlon, or is triathlon. So this is all very new to me. So she's the brains behind the operation. I am just the muscle. But it should be. I love it. I've dabbled in adventure racing for the last maybe 1.5 or 2 years. And I am loving it. I love the challenge. I love the physical and mental challenge. And I love being in the woods and doing sports. So this is perfect.
Yeah. Have you had any other adventure racing mishaps, or were you on your bike and you were trying to help out with an adventure race?
Yes. That was maybe 1.5 months ago.
Tell me about that one.
We volunteered the week before an adventure race to help set up the course. So we were given the task to go set up essentially what was like the farthest, most hidden flag in the forest. And to be able to do that, we had to go through some private land. And we were told by the race organizers that the farmers had giving permission for us to go through their private land. And we decided to do it in the middle of the night as a little bit of a training exercise to ride our bikes at night in preparation for this race this weekend.
As you do.
As you do. So we were going on our bikes with our lights on in some obscure fire road or forest road, and then a car started to follow us. Finally, the car, after a while, passed us, and they stopped, and someone got out of the car and said, "What are you doing here? This is private property. Get off my land." They were not nice.
Right.
And as you all know, here in America, those people tend to have guns. So we were essentially chased out of private land by someone that clearly was very unhappy. So we had to backtrack, and we still had to put that flag out. So then we ended up having to go all the way around a mountain and up the other side through some national park area, so public lands. So what was supposed to be maybe a 3-hour mission turned into about a 7-hour mission, including being chased out from private land.
Yes, you're with someone that's armed, and it does increase the intensity, increases the reason to push the pedals a little bit harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a good reminder. Always carry more nutrition than you think you're going to need.
That's good learning. Absolutely. So you've got that adventure race this weekend. You've also got some pretty exciting things lined up for the rest of the year as well. Tell us about that.
So the big event for the rest of the year is that I am coming out of Ironman retirement. As I was saying earlier, my original sport was triathlon. I did my first triathlon for my 30th birthday, a small one, and then that turned into bigger and bigger events. And I did my last Ironman in 2019, and this year I turned 50, and I am coming out of Ironman retirement to celebrate my 50th birthday, and I am doing Ironman Portugal in October.
Cool.
But in preparation for that, also as part of my 50th birthday celebration year, let's call it,
celebrating. So celebrations ahead.
Might as well.
Yeah.
I am going to France to follow the Tour de France for 2 weeks, embedded with one of the professional teams. So I'm going to be embedded with Team EF. It's actually 10 days. It's not the whole 2 weeks, but it's 10 days. And we get to ride a few of the stages, about 5 or 6 of the stages before the professionals come through. And then we get to go to the finish line of those stages. So I'm going to be in Provence and the Alps. And that includes trying to ride up Mont Ventoux.
Cool.
And then Alpe d'Huez.
Okay.
Very, very excited about that. Kind of half excited, half freaking out. Mostly excited.
So good.
Yes, I got those 2 big events, which I think are going to complement each other very well. So focusing on cycling, I love cycling in July, should put me in a good position for Ironman in October.
Yes.
I got that. Got the rest of the year.
Good job. So we've done our run block. We're into our cycling block, and there's a good reason to go ride your bike now. And obviously the weather's getting better, so you'll be able to go and ride outside a bit more as well. And then that'll bring those together and go and do Ironman Portugal. I was just on our group Zwift session this morning. We rode the Alpe d'Huez, which is based off Alpe d'Huez, with Brian Prestige, who's from Timaru. He's about to go bike packing around France. So talking about Mont Ventoux and things. And then Chris Benson, who also is on that, is heading across there as well. So I need to hook you guys up, because it feels like a Team CP catch up on Alpe d'Huez potentially might be a thing.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
There you go. That's
I'll
fantastic.
definitely I'll be wearing my Team CP kit all the way there.
There we go.
Good pictures.
We do expect some pictures. That's fantastic. Yes. For those that are listening to this, you won't understand this, but Alejandro is sitting in maybe his garage. I've got bikes on the wall. I've got a couple of bags of paddles and things behind you. That's a pretty cool spot. Obviously, that means that there's a bit of multi-sport and adventures going on. You sort of were introduced to us as a result of coming to do the coast to coast, because that's a big part of what we do and help people with. But just recently, we had a couple of Washington DC locals. We had Alexis and Chris and Frederick Frost who come over and did it as well, and they did some paddling and bits and pieces, and you gave them some advice. What's the training terrain like locally for coast to coast and preparation for that? How did you find that coming then to New Zealand?
Oh, that's a good question. So I would say that for us here in the Washington, D.C. area, cycling training the terrain is good. We have a lot of rolling hills. Mm-hmm. And once you get maybe an hour away from the city on your bike, you hit proper hills. So that's easy. The city of Washington, D.C. is also very runnable. It has lots of trails, like paved trails, but also in the middle of the city, there is a park that has proper trail running. I mean, never as technical as coast to coast, but at least you get to do some local trail running. And within an hour's distance, you can hit the mountains and be proper technical trail running terrain. Mm-hmm. So cycling and running in preparation for coast to coast is not too hard around here. The big one, and then you can do both in winter. You just bundle up. I think the big one is the paddling. We don't have anything to compare to the Waimak around here. I mean, I actually think that's such a unique and beautiful river that it's hard to find it anywhere. To be like 70 kilometers of uninterrupted rapids, I mean, maybe if you go to Alaska or something like that. So that was hard. It's easy to paddle on flat water here in spring, summer, and fall. But then once you get into winter, it's also very hard because there could be ice on the rivers, or all the boat houses are closed because they don't have the license to operate in winter. So, and then because the race is in February, which is the end of our winter, then it means that it's very, very hard for us to practice our paddling in preparation for coast to coast. I found that to be the hardest thing. And I did coast to coast. As I was saying earlier, the first year, the 2-day, and that was very hard. So for when I got into the longest day for the second year, I just went to New Zealand for 3 months.
Okay, there you go. That's a way to fix it, isn't it?
So I just went in November and stayed there until February.
So good.
I was lucky enough that I had just changed jobs, and one of the conditions that I put for taking the new job was that I would like to go to New Zealand for 2 months, and they should grandfather that trip into my new job, and they did. So I was lucky enough and privileged enough that I was able to go to New Zealand for 3 months and train there, because I found training here in winter for coast to coast very, very hard.
Yeah, it is hard when you've got proper winter and ice on the footpaths to even be able to go and run around the block. You're going to come and see us for our Backroad 2027 bikepacking trip, which would be pretty fun to go and share sort of a lap around sort of the Queenstown whole area. But also, we might as well take this opportunity to put the word out there that if there's any jobs going in New Zealand, Alejandro's up for grabs. He's looking to move to New Zealand if possible. What's your skill set? What have you got to offer?
Yeah, I'm looking to move to New Zealand. I've been trying for a while now, like seriously, maybe in the last 6 months. So I work in water, wastewater engineering and financing of projects. So if anyone has a job for me, I already got my degree certified by the New Zealand authority. So the only thing I need is a job offer, and then I can get a permanent resident visa. So I'm halfway there, but it seems like the hardest thing is actually getting that job.
Yes. Well, I'm very impressed. You've got a Mitre 10 Mega hat that you're wearing as well. That's generally, it's good.
As you know, I like orange. If you can see, my bikes are orange. I always wear orange when I race.
That's right.
This was a present from a friend in New Zealand. He's like, "Oh, that's an orange hat." So he gave me that to me.
Yeah, that's a specific New Zealand brand. You've done very well there. That's awesome. Being part of the Teamcpnz community, living in the US, how does that feel to you? Like, how does that go? Like, do you feel sort of part of it still? What's your sort of thoughts there?
It's a very interesting feeling because I definitely feel that as a little bit as an outsider, and it's just very, very trivial things. The time difference, like I can never join even the virtual rides.
So I need to get up in the middle of the night and do one at 3 a.m. or something. So just be better.
Skip work because of the one full day difference. But that's okay. I still feel part of the community, and when I'm in New Zealand, I message people, I join the trainings, everyone's very welcoming. So definitely there's a lot of that fear of missing out feeling. And I'm always very envious when I see your team missions and the roadies pictures. But I also know I got a great coaching team behind Teamcp. So I appreciate what I got. Could it be better? Of course, if I was there. So hopefully soon.
Exactly. There we go.
So, there is a
bring
little bit of
Alejandro.
feeling as an outsider, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's good feedback for me. I need to get up earlier. I'm still working on the 6 a.m. to be honest. Final question. You've traveled to lots of different events all over the place. Do you have any advice for others that are traveling to an event? Maybe like you've traveled just sort of reasonably locally to the Boulder running event, but then you've also traveled overseas with your bike and traveled to Scotland just recently. Any advice for others that are traveling to an event?
It's not as hard as you think it's going to be. The first time you travel with your bike feels like an impossible task, and then you realize it's easy. So don't be afraid to do it. And also always get there really a few days before. I've also done the thing to travel across the Pacific and then race 2 days later. That's not good.
It's tough.
So always give yourself maybe 4 or 5 days to settle in, get used to the time zone, get your stomach's rhythm
Square one again. Yep.
Do what it needs to be. But don't be afraid. That's kind of like my biggest message. Like, take your bike, go on a trail run in the local place. It's going to be fine. Join the local running club. That's the other thing I always do. I find a local running club and I run with them. Just don't be afraid and do it. It's great.
Good job. That's awesome. That's great advice. Nice work, Alejandro. Hey, thank you so much for sharing. So many adventures ticked off, so many fun things that you've got lined up, and celebrating that 50th, the year of the 50th. So many cool things going on.
The year of the 50th, and hopefully also for the year of 50th it's going to finish with the Rootburn run hopefully in April. That's
okay. Good stuff. So you'll come and see us and hang out for a little bit longer and go and do that trail run as well. That's awesome.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Good stuff. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your work. And we'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate everything you do for me.
Cool. Thanks, heaps.
Bye.